Every week on Ultimate Match Fishing, our boats are put through a ton of punishment. And one thing that is very consistent is every fill-up, we've got STA-BIL going into them. And most people know STA-BIL from the storage of their motors over the winter time, but there's a lot more to STA-BIL, and Matt Brown is here to tell me a little bit more about the STA-BIL product.
Yeah, basically everybody knows STA-BIL, 45-year-old brand. Everybody knows that when you go to put an engine away, no matter what the engine is, boat, RV, lawnmower, that you use this to treat your fuel, put it away, and it's going to be solid, secure for a year. You do 2 treatments, it takes you out 2 years. All the engine manufacturers has a great support from them for it. What's basically happened is that this word has meant storage to people. Ethanol, basically ethanol and fuel, which is going to be everywhere in January. You're not going to be able to buy fuel without ethanol.
And ethanol is basically an alcohol type additive?
Ethanol's got some unique characteristics. It's used in reformulated gas to basically put it in there to raise octane, to lower emissions, in ozone basically. So it's actually used to help gas, but it's negative things that hurt the marine environment.
It does bad things in the marine environment, doesn't it?
Yeah. Basically, the characteristics, ethanol, which this is, ethanol has got an attraction to water. It's got a short shelf life, so it turns to gum and varnish faster, and it's a solvent. So basically, those problems that you always had in the past, water, corrosion, deposits, in the marine environment with ethanol, it acts like a catalyst and incubates it and magnifies it, creates those small problems into larger problems.
Right.
So more corrosion, more water, more deposits. Basically, you don't have a healthy running engine. So in certain cases, you're going to have engine failure. If you're going out there, burning fuel, trying to catch stuff, you're going to have issues.
Yeah.
What this does, instead of just using it for storage, and you can use it for storage, you want to use it on an every fill-up basis.
Right, and that's what we're putting in our Ultimate Match Fishing boats right there. Yeah.
This is a more concentrated version of the traditional red STA-BIL that everybody knows. This has non-alcoholic water removers in it, corrosive inhibitors, and more deposits in it than traditional good old STA-BIL. That's basically what it is.
There you go. So there you have it. STA-BIL is not just for storage. You need to add it to your fuel. Those outboard motors cost a lot. You got to protect them. You can protect them with STA-BIL. Well, I've got to know, what about the guy who didn't see the STA-BIL advertisement and he forgot to put STA-BIL in his tank, and now he's got a lawnmower or a chainsaw and he's got bad gas and bad problems? What can they do to fix that?
Well, we've been getting this call for years. I mean, our philosophy was always education, preventative. Kind of changed that philosophy a little bit. Basically, what you can do is we've been developing a product for about 7 years, have a 99% trial rating on it. It's called Start Your Engines. It's the opposite of STA-BIL. It's for the person that did not use STA-BIL. Basically, you pour it into the tank, in a small tank, 4 ounce treats a gallon. It's a gravity-filled process. It's the first thing that gets pulled to the carburetor.
So it actually goes into the fuel line immediately?
Yes. Yeah. It's basically really a convenient safety item. Instead of using a carbon choke cleaner or starting fluid, you just pour it into the tank. So it gets pulled, cleans out the carburetor. The big thing that it does, it restores ignitability to bad gas. When gas turns to gum and varnish, it loses its flammability. This restores ignitability.
Yeah. So when you've left your steel power trimmer sitting for a year and the gas has gone bad, you don't have to drain it. You don't have to rebuild the carburetor. A little bit of this will do a lot.
Yeah, it's perfect for your perfect scenario. You got it exactly. Yeah. Especially generator people. People, as every hurricane season has a generator. They pull it out, they use it. Right. And they forgot to put something in it. That's the perfect item for it.
I would have liked to had some of this a couple of weeks ago, just so you know. But there you go. There you go. Start. Yeah, put me on your mailing list.